So no notification yet. So yeah, so the thing about using Zoom, the notification doesn't go to Facebook that we are live.
It has. On my Facebook, it has.
Oh, okay. So you received the notice? So we are live, right? Good evening, Zambia, good evening, Sichava, Mulishani Mwaikalashani, Mwachoma Bwanji, Mudingahi, Mwachoma, Mobugabuti, Mutozi Chwangi. Atishani Fitundu Mama, I only know like 5 languages. Good evening, Zambia, good evening. Greetings from the mothers of the Queen of Zambia, the caring mothers. Greetings from the mothers. Mama Matipa, can you greet your children and our viewers?
Thank you, Queen Mpumi, Mulimakola, Mudishani, Mudibwanji, at Mudingai.
Mudingai. Muchimambwe atishani chimambwe.
Katwish. Mwabugabuti, Mudigabotu.
Muli. Yes.
Mudiudi.
Siliningo Sile, good to see you guys. Welcome. Interesting topics today. I'm here with Mama Matipa. Mama Mary will join us, but to just start, we want to be keeping time. We want to keep time, 1 hour exactly. We'll do the presentation 1 hour exactly. And then after the hour, we can start questions. If you want to join us on Zoom, we can send you the link. Welcome, guys. Chitani share. Twami mona ba wisdom pengele, twami mona tebien mulenga, twami mona Sunday mumba as usual, mulishani ba Sunday Abel mulishani. Chisham Sondas Kazwe, greetings. Chipo Matandiko, good to see you. Muliuli Chiriningo Sile. Yes, Karen, watching you from Mumpongwe, my sweetheart's there, Karen. She's always supporting. Thank you for the support. Share, guys. Iseni teni abantu. Ngatamule fula will stop going live. Guys, if you don't, ngatamule fula tamule itabantu tukaleko kuisapan. We will stop coming if you are not inviting people, because there's no point, right? We are here, it's a live show. We want to see you. We want to interact. We want you to be sharing, commenting, liking the page, send an emoji. Don't share your location. I'm a hacker as well. So send an emoji. Actually, to 2 minutes to my crown. Crown. In the comments, guys, post crowns. Sky to my queen panel. So I'm posting a crown in a masters 2 minutes. And you know, we love you guys. Thank you for watching us. We are here because we are human rights activists. We are here to talk about what is happening in Zambia. We are here to learn from each other. We are here to inform each other and to educate each other. If there's any information you need that you have, you can share with us, and we'll also share with you. So this platform is there to promote human rights, to promote freedom of speech. We are here to expose all the corruption that is happening by anyone. And we are here to speak and promote good governance for Zambia, because your mothers on this page are interested in seeing and living a better Zambia. You are our children. 70% of the Zambian population, they are children. So you need our guidance. We are going to be with you as long as we are still alive and healthy, and God allows. We are going to be here and educating each other so that we have a better Zambia. Zambia is only going to become better when we end some of these things. So to get started, Mama Matipa, any comments before we get started?
Well, just to concur on what you have said, we are here to provide checks and balances. We are here to enlighten the Zambians on what is happening in the country and to share our opinions. And if people have a different opinion from us, you are free to join into the program and engage us. And we look forward to interacting with you as usual. Please feel free to join into the program. It's a chat. I would like to call it a chat. We are not here to victimize or bash or insult the president. We are just here to give our comments on what's happening to the lives of the Zambians, because they did vote for this party that's currently governing. And so we want to see them operate in a good, in a good environment, and also to make decisions that will please the Zambian people. And based on their campaign promises, we want to see that they fulfill their campaign promises. We as Zambians want to see everybody leading a better life, as opposed from where we are coming from. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this program. Thank you, Queen Mpumi.
Thank you, guys. So welcome, guys. So today our main topics. Our main topics is one, the corruption by the VP, the scandal. So there is a news going around that the vice president is involved in a very serious scandal in Mansa. So we are going to talk about the VP's scandal, and then we are also going to talk about our former Republican president, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, is back on social media. Remember, after the election, he deleted his page. So now I have seen several pages of our much beloved president. I've seen several pages on social media, specifically on Facebook. I've seen his pages, and he's going around and taking pictures and moving around in the community. And I'm going to talk about that because there are a lot of mixed feelings about him coming back in public. So from a human rights person, I am going to talk about our beloved president, Mr. Edgar Lungu, as his comeback to social media. And then finally we'll talk,
Past president, Queen Mpumi, I'm just correcting.
Oh, sorry, what did I say?
You said president.
Oh, former president. Sorry, thank you. Talk about Mr. Lungu. ECL, formerly known as ECL. So ECL is back on Facebook. We are going to talk about it because there are mixed feelings about it. And then finally, we are going to talk about the white elephant in the room, the appointment of judges by our current president. That has received a lot of mixed feelings, guys. We are here to talk. Join us to talk. When we talk, these leaders, they hear, they listen. So we are going to talk about these things because they are contentious. Everything we talk about on this page is found on social media. It's on public domain. We are not creating anything or manufacturing anything. We are just saying what is going on, and then we express our opinion or views about that. And in doing so, we are bringing information to those who don't know. And then for those who know, we are exchanging ideas. So this is the essence of this page. So to a point, we are kind of like political analysts as well as human rights advocates, advocating for good governance. So guys, share. Tufike kona 100 yelo tuwalayamba. Mama Matipa, the floor is yours. Let me share in my groups. Tufike kona 100 mwebantu.
Exactly, Queen Mpumi, we keep propounding that please share this link We want as many people as possible to interact with us. As I have earlier said, we want to grow the page so that we continue propounding on the governance of this country and getting Zambians to enjoy a better life, what they actually voted for. And so, as Queen Mpumi has alluded to the topics of tonight, we are going to talk about the appointments of the judges. We know other pages have talked about it before, but there is no harm on us equally giving our opinions on how the appointments of judges were made. We are here to equally talk about ECL's rights as a Zambian citizen, and the habit of always, from time immemorial, of persecuting former leaders, because as you know, this has been a trend from the time of Kaunda. If I remember correctly, Kaunda, when he left office, he was persecuted by Chiluba. Chiluba was persecuted by Mwanawasa. Mwanawasa was not persecuted because he did not complete his mandate. May his soul continue to rest in peace. Rupia Banda came on. He equally was persecuted by Sata. Sata was not persecuted because he did not end his mandate. May his soul equally rest in peace. And now we are seeing the persecution of ECL. So it has become a very ugly habit in Zambia, something that we should really not condone, because we have set a very, very bad precedent that every time a president leaves office, he has to be persecuted. So those are the topics, ladies and gentlemen. We want to find a common ground vis-a-vis these persecutions that continue being threatened on past presidents. It is not a Zambian way, actually. I know it's an African way of actually leading, that Africa, all the time someone leaves, they leave in bad taste in the incoming government's mouths, in that they will always want to dwell on the past, making the citizens of that country suffer because it slows down development, as you may all know. So ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on our checks and balances, we ask you to comment on what we are going to discuss, and give reasonable checks and balances as always, So for me, I think our first subject, Queen Mpumi, I would like us to tackle the issues of appointment of judges. I know everywhere in the world, maybe not in the world, but in all the place, in 3/4 of countries in the world, appointments of judges are actually done by a head of state and sort of ratified by the Senate or members of parliament per se. But in the way I feel like, we have to slowly get away from this trait of having head of states appoint judges, because sometimes I feel it influences their sentencing decisions. And competition, in my view, is very healthy. It is very healthy when a judge is actually elected, by a certain clique, if not the entire citizens of the country, like the way MPs are elected. Though one has to be abreast with the credentials that come with the appointment of being a judge. And, the appointing authority equally have to have enough data on those people that they are appointing. I know that Article 124 of the Constitution says every judge shall be appointed by the president after consultation with those judges. So the consultation is not with other people of society. It's with those judges that you're going to appoint. And so in my view, I say to myself, consultation with those same judges probably is to ask them whether you wouldn't mind, moving to the throne of a judge. HH recently appointed 20 judges, and there has been a lot of concerns raised by the citizens of this country as to some of the judges that were appointed. I know there has been great concern on a certain judge, a judge called Arnold Shilimi, as Deputy President of the Constitutional Court. People are saying there has been no known history of any practice by himself in a law practice. He only now he has recently become a senior partner in a company called Mwansapiri, Shilimi, and Teo Practitioners. And so people are asking themselves, was there any political influence as well as favoritism, as the man has no experience on constitutional matters, and it equally affects the integrity of the Zambian judiciary. The judiciary really plays a crucial role in any democratic society. So it's very important that members are qualified as well as impartial, because it usually affects some of the rulings that go on in these courts. President HH equally needs to understand that these appointments should be based on merit and not on political appeasements, in my view. In a lot of countries, it's actually about political appeasements. So that has been the controversy surrounding this judge. There are other judges that have been appointed, but I didn't see so much negativity on the other judges. And HH is on record bashing the former government on appointment of judges, but he himself is doing exactly the same thing. And so we ask ourselves, are Zambian judges insulated from political pressure? Judges in the USA are actually appointed equally by the president and confirmed by the Senate. And so we do hope, it is our sincere hope that judges will uphold the right for speedy trials for people that are taken before their courts, the right to cross-examine witnesses, the right to avoid self-incrimination, and protection from excessive bail and bail conditions, as well as fines and punishments. We need to also equally consider a jury method. I don't know whether this, again, I say I wish to, this is a topic that I've decided to bring up, and you are welcome to give your comments, because in other countries, you have what we call a jury, Queen Impumi, a jury method of judgment. And so I don't know how beneficial, if we went this way, it will be to Zambia, but my bone of contention is that the current government, especially the president, he used to bash these kind of appointments. If you remember, ECL had so many court cases while the PF was in existence. ECL was in and out of court. And he complained that most of the judges that were there were PF judges. And he said on numerous occasions that he did not expect to receive a fair trial because these judges were appointed by the PF government. And so I asked myself, what difference has he brought onto the ground? Because he has equally gone the same way. he has equally appointed his own judges. And so if the Zambian people turned around and said, we don't think we'll get fair judgment because of these judges that you have put in place, what would be his reaction? Because he's on record of having bashed the judges that they were not ruling in his favor. So what has changed? If he can tell us exactly how these new judges he has appointed will operate, if there will be a lot of fairness, because we know a lot of positions have changed hands in DEC, in anti-corruption, in the police. There's been a lot of changes. And so the same things that you were bashing, you have also gone to do your changes. And Zambians should embrace them. Well and good if Zambians should embrace them. But what will be different with your appointments? Thank you, Queen Mpumi.
Thank you, Mama Matipa. You have raised important question. Welcome, guys, if you're just joining us. We are here, we have 3 topics tonight. So we have 3 topics. We are talking about the appointment of the judges by our president. We are talking about the mining scandal by the vice president. And also we will talk about our former president is back on social media. So guys, share. These are very important topics. I'm just reading the comments to say a lot of people, they are scared to talk because of intimidation by by praise singers. Praise singers are intimidating people. So what I have advised the people is, because we all have to talk, guys. You can't leave the talking to 2-3 people. Then they'll start targeting those people. I am saying this because if we are 20 million Zambians, and out of the 20 million, maybe 10 million are adults. So out of those 10 million, if only we are seeing a few active pages who are actually giving checks and balances and holding this government accountable to their promises, to their campaign promise. So what you can do is, this is just my advice. If you really feel that you want to participate in providing checks and balances, and you are fearing for your life, I would advise you to use a nickname, because we're praising everybody. They are coming on social media and tracking people down by their names and to their families. So if you want to be a voice, people don't use your nickname, nickname. And then Kuno, they recommend that if you have a page where you have your family members, don't use that page. Panga page which is just for your social life or for your causes. And then you protect yourself and protect your family. We all have to be security conscious, because these praise singers, they are not as holy as they campaigned. They came with a pack of lies. And for me, I campaigned heavily for them, but I saw that what they were doing is not matching to what they were saying. So fast forward, let's talk about these appointments. Now, I have listened to many people talk about this appointment of judges and their concerns. Major concerns about the appointment of these judges is appeasement. We hear there is one judge who worked with our president many years ago. So this is kind of a thank you to give him that job. We hear there is a family who is trending in Zambia. There is a family name that's trending in Zambia. It's all on all the major political appointments. This family has a family member appointed by our president. This name is in Zesco. This name is all over. So we are having names that this name is the chosen name. Every opportunity, a family member is appointed. And now we have seen that name bounce. It has come as one of the judges. We have seen regionalism. If it's not regionalism, it's tribalism. If it's not tribalism, it's appeasement. These have to stop. Mr. President, you campaigned against the PF for doing these things. And now you are doing exactly the same thing. Where are we going? So the next regime that will come after this new dawn, they'll come and do the same thing. It's unfair. It's unfair. And then for me, I can just say it's just shameful. You know, it's dishonorable. It's dishonorable. It is shameful to see what is happening now. And I would just like to read a few things that I saw online. I did my research online as I was doing my research. And then my question to this new dawn government is like, how is appointment by appeasement, regionalism, and tribalism going to increase transparency and accountability? Because the vice here is corruption. Corruption is what is killing Africa. We are the richest country, one of the richest countries in the world in mineral wealth, but look at how we are living. And with this government just came in less than 2 years ago, they are going back to do the same thing that has landed us in problems. So there is no transparency. Once you appoint people because on these vices, tribalism, appeasement, and regionalism, those people are going to be loyal to you. So we are here to say these appointments must be elected. Political appointments, judges, like anyone serving the public, that job must be elected. The same way we choose members of parliament, we must elect judges so that they are not loyal to the president, who is appointing authority. These judges will just be stooges, because we have seen already the vice president is in a scandal in mines. We saw the president awarded himself or his company contract. So how can these judges who are handpicked by the presidency actually prosecute him? You tell me how that is going to work. It won't work. So basically we are going back to the same old whatever. You finish the sentence. We are going to back to the same old, finish the sentence. You know what I want to say? You can just finish the sentence with whatever word you want to use. I expected this president to promote public participation in the governance of this country, encouraging citizens to participate in political process and hold their leaders accountable. I expected Mr. HH to do this, but is he doing this? No. Our youths who are trying to speak, they are being castigated. They are being attacked. So we are seeing this president again. He is not promoting public participation. He is promoting oppression of the people, that's why PF left. PF left because of oppression of the people, violence, Muma market. Enhance public sector ethics. How can the ethics be enhanced when you are handpicking people in sensitive roles, such as judges? Our cases are going nowhere. You have seen all these people who had cases under PF. Their cases have gone nowhere. Why? Because they have money. You can easily bribe one judge who's presiding for a case of someone who is a millionaire in dollars. I didn't mention a name, but I'm just trying to say Zambian judges, Zambian court system is embarrassing, to say the least. because they arrest a woman who stole bread to feed the child. And somebody who stole millions of public funds, they are acquitted. And this is why we are saying, you know what? We need judges to be elected so that if that judge is seen to be corrupt, he is not elected. He will lose his job. We have seen judges for 30 years ruling and ruling. You shake your head to say, how even a 5-year-old can figure that out. But the judge will rule in favor of a criminal, acquit the criminal, no prosecute. And Mama Tipa, you talked about the jury. The jury system is actually present in our system, in our traditional society. That's how matters were ruled. They beat the drums. All the elders of the village will come. It wasn't only men, it was everyone. Our traditional society respected women. Even up to now, in the traditional cases, when there is a traditional case, all the elders of the village gather and discuss the case and they vote. That is the jury system. And Zambia has to come to a place where we make our own laws to suit our environment. We can't be copying and pasting things which are working for the West, for capitalist society, for socialist society. We can't copy and paste everything. We have to find our middle ground and create our own systems that are going to be beneficial to our people and to our society, considering the problems that we are having. It makes me sick, to see people telling people online, this is a capitalist society. It's a capitalist society, which you brought from America, which is a first world. How do you replicate a system in a first world, from a first world in a third world, where you don't even respect human rights? And we are going to talk, yes.
Yeah, that's why I said, there has been a lot of cases that have lagged since the UPND came into power. And now we don't know that if we will now see a speed in the judiciary because new judges have been appointed. Again, people are going to ask themselves, is it because these judges have been appointed by the current president that all these cases of the PF that used to go to court will be hastened? And if so, where is the merit in all this? Somebody here on commented about vengeance, that vengeance is a bad thing. Yes, it is a bad thing. It always, for me, vengeance really belongs to the Lord. And so we have to move away from this vengefulness of, wanting to find fault in previous governments. Because at the end of the day, I feel we spend so much time and money looking for cases to incarcerate those people. Look at how long Kaunda's case took. In the end, they only found out that the poor man had $8,000 in his bank account, despite ruling this country for more than 28 years. But look at how much money of the Zambian people was spent. Look at how Chiluba's cases went on and on and on to try properties that were bought in the diaspora, to try 200 pairs of shoes, to try whether it's 800 pairs of ties. What did the Zambians get out of that, if there was ever a conviction? And so you spend so much money following someone to the detriment of the Zambian people. At the end of the day, we don't get anywhere. All because of being vengeful, of wanting to fix your friend. And you know, we are talking about election of judges. Indeed, if there's going to be now an election of judges, this is now going to change the narrative. All we are proposing is that let the judges be an elective position.
And the speaker too. Someone said the speaker as well.
Yeah, and the speaker.
Because like even the current speaker is highly biased. She was handpicked as well.
Yeah. There has to be serious vetting before an election of judges can be undertaken. And this, I mean, serious vetting. Because to be a judge of a country, there's a lot of integrity involved. A lot of integrity involved.
And I know a lot of judges who have no integrity. They have zero integrity, but they got appointments. This is what we are saying, you know?
And so I expected something different under the UPND. Something totally different to say now the president is not going to appoint judges. It will be an elective position. Seriously, I would have clapped for them and said, well done. This is long overdue. We saw how Sata removed a lot of judges during his tenure. There were a lot of corrupt judges, equally when Sata took over power. But then again, they did the same thing. It was presidents appointing judges. Okay, if presidents are going to appoint judges, do something different. Maybe let's bring in a jury system and not a judge having to make a decision on cases. But I'm sure some people will say no, because there's so much corruption in Africa, a jury system may not work in Zambia. It's all about vetting. If you vet the jury, you vet the judges. Mind you, we all know that we are human and we all fall short of the glory of the Lord. But at least we need to start from somewhere. We all know that there are some people that have been incarcerated wrongly. There are people who have stayed in prisons for a crime they did not commit. This happens, Queen Mbumi, all over the world. Someone can spend 20, 30 years in prison for a crime they didn't commit. It happens. And so, even in the jury system, it is bound to happen. And that is why appeal is encouraged all the time. And so let's stay away from this habit of every leader that comes on, there is vengeance involved. Yes, Queen Mpumi, is that a hand up?
Yeah, so I was just trying to say that I think Zambia at this time should go back. We should go back to our roots. Before colonization, we had our own system. We had our own way of dealing with offenders. It's not that we didn't have criminals. It's not that after independence, that's when criminals came. No. We had criminals in our traditional society, and we had a traditional way of dealing with the criminals. Now you can see that this current way of dealing with criminals was left by the colonial masters. So if you look at the current setup of this judiciary system, it is set up for manipulation and corruption, so that people with money can get away scot-free. And then people like you and me, immediately we steal a tomato, or when somebody attacks us. Like, look at my brother. I would give as an example of our son Ellington, who was attacked. But instead of charging, going to hunt for those people who actually attacked him, I don't know what's happening. because those people who attacked him did it in the name of the ruling party. We don't know what's going to happen. So this is what we are talking to say. This constitution must be changed. This constitution must be changed, and the constitution of Zambia must be interpreted in all the languages, starting with the 7 major languages, the 7 official languages. So we are getting nowhere, guys. We are getting nowhere, and the trajectory of this country, the way things are going, they don't look good. The operation of this new dawn, you know, follow my page. We have a lot of topics we have discussed here. We have reviewed a lot of information. Follow this page. And the hackers, they are trying to delete this page. So follow me on YouTube as well and TikTok. So they don't like what we are talking. They don't like what we are exposing their lies. I was watching a video yesterday where our president was saying that they need to increase the pay of the miners. That issue is about the KCM and vendetta, which I think we should talk about tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll talk about the mines and another 2 more subjects. So I just want to wrap it up on this judges thing. You have your last comment, Mama, so we can move on to the next topic. So we keep the time.
Yes, Queen Mpumi, thank you for reminding me about our timekeeping. I totally agree, because if you remember when the New Dawn came into power, they talked about expediency in court cases. In that court cases will now not be stretched for a very long time.
Yes.
You know, judgments will be given as quickly as possible. But it's not the case. It has not been the case. We are now running to 1 year. Is it 6 months or 8 months, whatever? It doesn't really make a difference. But cases are still dragging. If we talk about the speaker herself is the biggest cadre of the New Dawn government. We have all seen how she runs parliament. We've all seen it. It is not a secret that the speaker, before she was appointed, she was a UPND sympathizer. She has been seen on social media in regalia, you know, and some of her rulings are shameful, to say the least. Indeed, shameful. She answers on behalf of parliamentarians. I mean, who does that, Queen Mpumi? Huh? It's pathetic. She needs to change. She really needs to change, or she needs to be changed. Put somebody there who is impartial.
You know, Nick, the sad part is we are stuck. We are stuck with one president running the whole show. He has not changed anyone, even people like Chushika Sanda, for example, the minister. What are they doing? We have a whole bunch of ministers getting free money and benefits for doing nothing. The president travels alone. He doesn't go with the Minister of Foreign Affairs or Minister of Mines, or everything he's doing, he's not involving his cabinet. And this information is public information. Everyone is talking.
Queen Mpumi, maybe on the issue of traveling, I have seen him traveling with Kakubo. I have seen him traveling with the Minister of Land. I've seen him traveling with the Minister of, something to do with the climate? I can't remember the name of that ministry. I've seen him traveling. But then again, we always ask ourselves, is it the president who has to go and attend each and every?
You know what? You know what I mean? Traveling. If a president travels with those ministers, then it's him who's going. Those they are accompanying him. There is no way in his entourage. If he carries a minister, the minister cannot speak when the president is there. So it means if the president is traveling and he carries those ministers, they are extra baggage. They don't even need to go with him. He might as well just go along with security.
No, he actually needs to delegate some of these duties. A president who has done like 36 trips in 1.5 years.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
That's why, wanted me, I'm shocked. And it's high time Zambia need to speak up.
And that's why I said, Kanshi, wale kumbwe fyale chitomu nove. Because you used to propound on those issues all the time. And then you just come and do the same, if not worse. Because some of these duties can be delegated. It is not about him being everywhere, but it is the case. It is the case, and I saw it coming because I knew about it. He wants to be the judge, the jury, the prosecutor, everything.
And you know, Paul Kagame said something last week to say, you cannot be a businessman and a president at the same time. What we are talking here is public information. No one is manufacturing anything. Our president has never been a statesman. He has never worked in the public service. He's a businessman. But we are here to say whatever business deals is signing, they have landed Zambia into trouble. That's why now let's switch over to ECL coming back on the scene. So we have our president who is running around the globetrotter. We have seen some of the cartoons that these youths are making about our president are so disrespectful. I cannot even post them. I just see them, I'm just like, oh my God, God help us. You all know what I'm talking about. But youth are being creative and making all these crazy, you know, whatever computer-generated images of a president on top of a plane and flying all over. Is actually shameful that a much-loved president can be depicted in such a manner after.
And now you are made into a cartoon, you know?
Yes, like, you know what? The president has been made into a cartoon character. Because I'm sorry to say that our president has no shame. If he had shame, he would face the people. He would go and face your fears. That's what they say. Face your demons. If it's your demons, I'm sure they are demons. The demons that made him to lie to Zambians, let him face those demons. Let him come and apologize to the Zambians. So now we are crossing over to the next topic of ECL back on the scene. So I want to say that you people who are saying ECL should not be back on the scene, it's too soon. I want you to say that ECL is a free citizen at the moment. He has every right to have a freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of association, until he is prosecuted and found guilty in the courts of law. Which brings me now to this new Dawn government. Why have they not removed the ECL's immunity? Immediately, ECL now is free to, and I'm gonna get to what has made ECL free to come out. I'm getting there. So now you see ECL is free to walk around. You start saying, why is he walking around? Why is the ECL walking around? Why is ECL walking around freely? It's because you did not remove his immunity. So I'm just saying, by new Dawn praise singers, let's be real about this situation. Let's not treat Zambia like a circus. First things first. First thing is you were supposed to remove the immunity, charge him, and then let the court find him, whatever. Dismiss the cases. Now you let our president, Walungu, he was there, nobody has removed his immunity. And our president, former president, when he left that day, after losing the election, he was so embarrassed, he felt so bad, he deleted all his social media pages. He deleted them. He was gone. he was gone. Because now Zambia had a new president who was promising a land of milk and honey. And Walungu knew that he had done wrong by the people. So at least I respect Walungu because Walungu has a shame. Walungu has a sense to say, the people don't want me. I wasn't a good leader. Let me go. So Walungu deleted his page and disappeared from the political scene. Now we have had all these crises, electricity crisis, meal crisis. Walungu is coming back to the people because it's like Walungu is like coming to us and he's vindicated to say, Mwamoneni, after all, I wasn't as a bad of a person as I was painted to be. So this is just my opinion. I'm just saying Walungu coming back on the scene is to shame us Zambians, to say, look at the man who you said is going to save Zambia. He has put you in more problems. So I'm here to say, that is just a side note. I'm just saying why I feel Walungu is back. Walungu is here because now he has the courage to say, Mwandini, I did better. Walungu is coming with a smile. That he who laughs last laughs the most. He was painted a whatever. Walungu was painted all the colors by these people who lied to us like they were angels. But actually, they are the same. Corrupt practices run both in UPND and PF. But at this point of Africa, the UPND corruption is even exceeding our PF because the vice president is actually in a big mining scandal right now. So I want to tell Banyu Don that Banyu Don, let Lungu move freely. He's a free man until proven guilty in a court of law. Remove his immunity. Otherwise, Mubaleke. Prosecute him if you want. He is a free person. So I end there. That is my comment on it, the topic about former president.
Thank you, Queen Mpumi. As you have rightly said it, past President Lungu has a right to association, to movement, and he has rights to comment in his private capacity. He equally has a right to having a Facebook page. And my taking is, even if they removed his immunity, he would still be free to enjoy freedom of movement. ECL is free until proven guilty. I've always said, he who alleges must prove. Maybe they're doing things systematically. Maybe now, with appointment of judges, we will now see how ECL now will be taken to court. Yes, Queen Mpumi.
So Jean Mwansa, he has a comment. Jean Mwansa has a comment, and he says, the reasons why the president moves with ministers is to give an opportunity to a minister to pick issues relating to his or her ministry. Our president is a very strict man, especially where spending money is concerned. We shall not be surprised to learn that the president doesn't get the allowances and salary. Imweba Jeannie, what kind of world do you live in? You are saying a president is a very strict with the money. Do you know how much money the president is spending from his pocket to pay for his son in the UK? The president is paying, I don't know how many. The information is right there. It's on public domain. So I just want to answer by Jean Mwansokwebati. So the president is going to be strict on public fund, on Zambian money, but for his own money, he can spend millions of dollars to pay for his son at a university. It's hypocrisy. And the people like you, people like Jean Mwansa are the reason why Africa is in these problems. You keep cheering corrupt practices, corrupt leaders by youth. Stop your in a genie. Do I need a Jin once, have you ever flown in a chartered plane? Have you ever flown in a plane over 30 times in a year? Or even once in your life? The president does not get allowances, but are you aware that he signed a multi-million-dollar deal to one of his businesses? Are you aware about that? Mama, you can continue.
Thank you. So I was saying ECL is free until proven guilty, and he who alleges should prove. Those people who are saying, oh, he stole, let the courts prove. And let them find a way. He has put the current regime to task. He says, if you feel I have cases, lift my immunity. Lift it. You have more people in parliament. And so it's going to be easy peasy. Lift his immunity. The man is ready to face the courts of law. And for Jean Mwansa, all I would like to educate Jean Mwansa is, you know, those ministers equally need work. They need to equally be exposed to all these meetings that are happening around Africa. Remember that when a president travels, the expense is high in terms of security, as to opposed to when a minister travels. And some of these duties can be delegated. It doesn't have to be a president traveling all the time. But what I'm now seeing is like probably the president has nothing to do here in Zambia, but he only has something to do when he travels. He's got work outside Zambia, but has nothing to do when he's in Zambia. He probably gets bored. His office of the president is not coming up with duties that the president has to do while in the country. And so I'd equally like to say, you know, if ECL decides to come back to politics, as we all know, he loses his benefits. You know, Chapter 15 of the laws of Zambia clearly outlines what ECL is entitled to, as he remains just a simple citizen. You know, for those that do not know, ECL is entitled to a tax-free monthly salary. He is entitled to 1 personal secretary, 3 security personnel, 3 cars, which will have free maintenance, as well as fuel. Of course, fuel to be supervised by Cabinet Office. He's entitled to 3 drivers, 1 admin assistant that will be at Deputy Permanent Secretary level. He's entitled to a diplomatic passport, a furnished house built or bought for him in an area of his choice, medical insurance, so is his spouse. He's equally entitled to return air ticket every year to a destination of his choice, as well as funeral expenses upon his death. So he's very much aware that, you know, those are his entitlements. And mind you, he is equally a lawyer, so he knows what he's entitled to. But if he decides to come back, surely speaking, it's up to him, Queen Mpumi. It is really up to him. If the man wants to forfeit his entitlements because he feels he should come back, because in my opinion, I feel UPND has created an atmosphere for ECL to now open his Facebook page. They have created this, that ECL now feels, oh, the terrain is soft. It's now green for me to come back on social media. It is his prerogative. Allow him to do that. The man has told you, remove my immunity and take me to court. He has dared you to do that. So maybe things are being done systematically as we change the judges, we put new judges. Probably now we are going to see other things happening. But for crying out loud, don't limit him. Right now, he's a free citizen. I would say the same thing about HH. Not that we liked what was happening to him while he was in opposition, but he was in opposition for too long. He had 20 years to plan on how to govern this country.
And,
So
you know, just on that, Anik, 20 years, did this new Dawn ever go to a convention?
Never. And
so HH actually imposed himself. And all this information is on public domain. This information is on public domain to say HH never held a convention. UPND, they never held a convention to choose a leader.
And so they, you know, they have never held a convention, so they must learn to shut up.
Yes.
And not force other people for a convention, because shame on you. In
yes.
20 years, I held a convention.
Yes.
All you do is propound about how your friends have postponed their convention.
It's a shame, yes. That's why we say that UPND is like a cult, because they have never held a convention. Since Mazoka, may the soul rest in peace, passed away, it has been HH. Have they ever held a convention to remove him? If it's democratic, everyone stands a chance. So you praise Singam Webale Imba, HH until 2060, you are brainwashed. You need Jesus. Zambia is a democracy. Wake up.
In any case, it's every political party's choice and decision on whether they want to go for a convention or not. And so other parties should mind their own business. Suppose they want to choose a leader at a meeting. It's up to them.
Yes, because like UPND have chosen to have HH for 20 years. Who talks about it? Nobody.
Where was it?
Who is questioning you why UPND has not gone to a convention? Why they have had the same leader for 20 years? Who is questioning that? How many want the democratic process, they are using the law to apply it, they are being condemned. It's hypocrisy. Remove the speck in your eye before you talk about other people.
Thank you. Queen Mpumi, how many people sat and chose HH to lead the party? Very few. A handful. Very few. They went to a special meeting at someone's house and chose.
Yeah.
And so you want to stand there and say they must go for a convention, they must go. It is their business. If they don't want, they don't want. Mind your business in governing this country. The Zambians want to see how you will govern and make this country a better country.
Let them explain their lives.
Where we'll have affordable meal meal. You know, where we'll have medicines in hospitals, where you will attend to all these water problems that are engulfing the compounds each and every day. Because right now there are floods everywhere in Zambia. I wonder what DMMU is doing, actually. It's pathetic. We are having even little children dying in floods, Queen Mpumi. What is DMMU doing? I am told when a councillor took some residents to DMMU office, he was punished for that.
He was suspended, yes.
Yes, because he didn't have permission from his area member of parliament.
What is that?
What a shame. During the previous government there, at least I would talk, because I saw DMMU working. If DMMU stole money, we are waiting for them to be taken to court. We want to see how much DMMU stole. We want to see it. But at least we saw some work. I am not condoning what is being said, although we have not verified that information, that there was a lot of money being stolen from DMMU. But at least I saw the works that were going on. Now we are waiting for DMMU leaders at that time to be taken to court and to be told how much money was actually siphoned out of DMMU. But at least they saved the lives of Zambians, which is not happening now.
And this is which brings us back to the thing of appointing judges. The people with money, when there is a case, they buy their way out of these criminal cases, fraudulent cases. They just use the stolen money to pay the judges, and the judges shut up. We cannot prove it, but we are just saying that's what happens, you know. This has to stop. I am told that in the jail, they are full of people who have civil cases. In Congole, people are being arrested over 20 kwacha, 30 kwacha, 200 kwacha, 5,000. That is a civil case. You are just supposed to make arrangements how you pay it. You are not supposed to be in a police cell for owing somebody money.
We are now going to start to sound like broken records, because we are talking and speaking and propounding on the same issues, but we are not seeing any change.
Imagine.
You know, we need to see change.
You know what, Anik, I don't think we'll see the change. These people, they were told, that's why somebody was aspiring for 20 years, because he had to become president, and he had to find a way to become president until he was told to lie, tell lies. So once those lies, we bought into the lies, all of us, we bought into the lies. I mean, they sounded good lies, because that's what we wanted to hear. I was listening to his speech yesterday on a Queen Cobra. She was playing something that Vamwinemushi was saying about KCM. If you hear that speech, all the miners, I'm sure they voted for him based on those speeches, because he told us what we wanted to hear, you know. But now they are turning around and bringing the vendetta. We'll talk about the mines tomorrow because of time. We're trying to keep this live to
Exactly, it's about appeasement, Queen Mpumi. That's why the giant Anglo-American is coming back to this country, because those were his biggest supporters. Those are the ones that put him on the seat.
Yes, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll talk about the mining industry. And for me, I don't really have a problem of Anglo-American coming back. It is the terms under which they are coming back, you know. We are on a global business market. Let us do business as partners. This whole thing of our leaders, politicians, having shoddy deals with these corporations and looting free minerals out of our country, it should be a thing of the past. We'll talk about this tomorrow, guys. Join us tomorrow, 21 hours. Anglo-America can come to Zambia, but let Zambia benefit. Zambia should own 51% of all those mines. Zambia should receive 51% of the profits. These mines should hire 90 to 95% Zambians. These are conditions we need to put there. We'll talk about this tomorrow, guys. And we are in a market. When we buy cars from China, do we make deals or Japan? No, they just tell us the price. And then you negotiate. If you want something on sale, you buy something cheaper. But our own leaders in Africa, they are the problem, making these shoddy deals, giving away our minerals free for a briefcase of $2 million US. You will die and you will not eat that money. That is blood money, I'm telling you. If you are such a political leader, mlepo kama briefcase, while the Zambian people are dying, I'm telling you, even your relatives will not enjoy that money. and you have problems, you are cursing you. This African curse has to stop. You leaders, we choose you to do the right thing by Zambia, negotiate these deals where Zambians benefit. You are negotiating deals where you are giving away minerals for free after they give you a briefcase of $2 million US or however millions they give you. You are selling away our birthright of Zambians. Shame.
Queen Mpumi, it was a contract. We'll put you there in office. As long as when you get into power, please don't forget us. And the favors that you will do for us should favor us more than your country.
No, but you know what? You know what? Those corporations, did they vote for him?
No, but they gave him the money.
What money? You didn't give anyone any money. And this campaign was so easy for him. He didn't even move.
Queen Mpumi, HH has been in opposition for 20 years. You've got to have a lot of money to be in opposition for 20 years. It's no joke.
But he was not sharing it. Where was the money? The one he's using to pay for his son at school?
He never shares. That's what you don't.
Yeah, so no, but one day to chuli demo if to alili leko. Ushe to alili leko bali to akanya ko.
That's what we must propound on.
Yes.
He does not share any.
So no, but if to chuli demo pafe bali lebeka, to chuli demo if excuse you. Excuse you.
Yeah.
Tatwa chule tamwatu chushe mwalile mweke mpi amazambia tabakwete nini tikupatala. Paratulelanda, Zambians have no medicines.
Atinangupana dofeya makatakuli takuli.
Imagine, I'm a city council. Bali leveke mpia. Impia shonga bali leveka bakayati so because Zambia teyabo. Zambia is not theirs. Cooperation yabo. Let's sit here and negotiate. If we tulefo kushitemi chimufipatala, tulefo a minimum wage ibe pali $2,000 for a miner, you give them your terms. Kuchibakana. Because what we have now in Zambia is a hot cake. Anglo-American ingatashitile, umu-Brazilian allies ashite.
Ate change waka so.
Kumpia kushachi, akaso kumpia shachalo. Akaso over our birthright, please. Akaso over our birthright.
Kumi waka so akakapela makufi. Nama ministers bakwe badishi bati waka so.
Kakamule because akokene akaso akwete nomba. The problem now is going to affect him with those deals he signed because Zambians are not having it.
Let me tell you something. When he was in opposition, his MPs who were going to parliament and receiving their pays in parliament were obligated to take that money to his office. He told them that money doesn't belong to you, it belongs to your constituencies. That is the level of akaso akwato yumuntu.
Akaso kena kukala baleterela because no babale dealing with 20 million Zambians. Hello, ama Zambians tabalale. Isho mpia ngabali bapela bobenye ukwebaji ukabe paka ukabe president elo ukachite katupela ma tax holiday. Actually, this is another topic I want to discuss. The blank check yaba IMF. Therefore, we don't because kuno actually teba IMF. You know, it's just a front. They didn't tie it. Loan sharks. IMF is just an umbrella. So there are many companies there. Loan companies, which are here, Kunokuma Western countries. They give loans like if you live in the West, the model, a common model of loans is mortgage. Where after 5 years, but
Right, Queen Kumpumi, can we move on to the next subject in the interest of time?
Yes, so the last subject is about Mama. But Vip caught in a scandal, but Vip has been caught in a scandal. And I'm going to read this. It was reported. Guys, everything we are discussing is on social media. That's why they want to shut our pages. That's why in Zambia, some of the stuff you hear we are talking about, you won't hear reported on Zambian newspapers or Zambian sites. But all this information we are reporting here is on international global sites. So Zambia, I'm encouraging you Zambians to read and research outside on global news networks. Not Yababa CNN and BBC, but Yaba Nibamobeni. Mulengo from Lenkonka, Bamobene, but Yabena CNN and BBC, Bamobeni, Ababa to Shabamobeni. So na news watchta reporting, they are chinka, but Kula Mama sites Yambi. And what no type of Google search engine, you will be surprised what information will come. So now this is on a local news from Mansa, and I'm going to read just the important points. We are talking about the VP's scandal. VP Nalumango in a serious criminal scandal in Mansa. Vice President Mutale Nalumango, UPNDSG Batuke Imenda, Wapula Minister Chilundika, Police Commanding Office, ZNS Regional Commander, Zambia Army Regional Commander, and the Deputy PS Roy Mwansa in a big scandal. Let's see what HH will do now that it has blown in his face. So that is the first paragraph. The late Honorable Sakeni got a license for mining manganese in Muombe, and after a long time of mining, he sold his license to Bear Mining and strictly from manganese. After some time, they discovered there was actually Sugulite, Wapula's precious stone, which ranks as almost the same as diamond. So Sugulite is ranking as diamond. And less than 1 kg of the international market can fetch 50,000 US dollars. 1 kg of Sugulite. We have more money than people in Zambia, and we can all be millionaires. So 1 kg can fetch $50,000. Imagine ka kg ka sugar kaje. Number imagine ama Sugulite in Kumanso. The Arabs buy the stone for jewelry and other prestigious ornaments. When Sugulite was discovered, people started mining it illegally until Honorable Chilagwa under the PF banned all activities and asked that only those with a mining license for Sugulite will mine it, which government was not giving Mamona government a license. UPND won election, and as usual, a cadre by name of Muka Kelvin, by force went in and connived with people there and got 1 truck. That's now he turned into a millionaire overnight. So why can't we all be millionaires overnight? Why? The government of UPND saw the abuse and provided state security for the mine. Unfortunately, you all remember the next cadre was Chipoka, who now is Mwese Council chairperson, who went as a cadre and fought with police to have access there. It was embarrassing until UPND suspended him for some weeks. The big boys led by Mutalena Lumango last week tried their luck and moved with trucks full of Sugulite and escorted the trucks with security personnel with the guns. All security wings in the province were involved, and as it was always someone is not happy, they were left out. That's how the truck got impounded against the bosses, and the fire is burning now. Nalumango, a pastor's wife, thief is in hot soup with his team as Wapula people demand for her to go and explain what she has done. As we speak, Police Commander Mansa transferred already to Livingstone over the same. he should be fired. NGO leader Ken Sama and Reverend Lucilla at a presser expressed disappointment at the way the government of Hakainde can be so evil to the people of Wapula. So this is the story. Comments below. Me have nothing to say.
Queen Impumi, there's a strong comment here from Momo Majuda. He says, no, Queen Impumi, that's not the price of Sugulite. So, Miss Momo, could you kindly tell us what the price of Sugulite?
You know, I have my other phone. I'm going on the London Metro Exchange right now. Let me get the price.
And so, viewers, you've all heard that story. I personally, I don't know how authentic it is, but the government needs to state their position on this story. They have kept quiet, and usually what does silence mean? You know, this story has gone viral, and we're not hearing anything from the government, especially that it has implicated the vice president. There has to be some reaction from the UPND, what do you call it, the UPND headquarters. I don't know, since Mr. Batuke Imenda is equally implicated, somebody should give us information on the authentication of this story, because Zambians need to know whether this story is authentic or not. But as usual, they'll probably, just cover it up and sleep over it like they did on the Mary Banana issue. Because, for me, I'm still fighting that deck woman, that Mary Banana issue. It has gone quiet. Had it been their friends, we would never have heard the end of it. And that's why I've said there are certain laws that apply for certain individuals. And, it is not a fair game, so to speak. So if you bring in a law, it must be applicable to all citizens across boards. So, Wamaeva and Alumango, I know you like answering a lot of questions and diverting questions. So I think probably it should equally be brought in Parliament. Parliament is open now. So somebody should bring that question to the Vice President. Because the Zambians want to know whether she's implicated in this scandal or not. Because I seem to remember seeing Jack Muimbu bringing a case against Honorable Given Katuta, an independent member of Parliament, and reciting something from a social media posting, and the speaker upheld it. So there's nothing wrong with bringing something that has been posted on social media to Parliament as well. We need answers. We need a comment on this. Otherwise, it will just be blown out of proportion. And people will now think that because you have not given your position on this story, then it is true. Because if it is true, it's a very huge scandal. It is a very huge scandal. And Zambians can't sit idle and watch this go on. Because I say, if it is true, then mwale seka nenu ifipato. Mwale baseka. Nibaka bwalala, niba shani. But you are failing to justify stories that are being made available to the public. Zambians should demand an answer on this Mukula issue. Because a lot was said about Jean Kapata and this Mukula issue. I believe the matter is still in court, so wouldn't want to dwell so much on it. It's true, Munia Zulu needs to go and ask this matter in Parliament. We feel so sorry for Munia Zulu.
Munia Zulu also has something going on in his area. They discovered gold.
Exactly.
They discovered gold in his area. So you see, guys, when we are saying we need credible leaders who are going to put a system where all these resources are managed without corruption so that Zambians benefit. And this stone is Sugulite is not only for cosmetics, it's medicinal. So it has some medicinal properties which they use for anxiety, and they have a lot of other things. So guys, let's be aware. We need a government that is going to manage our resources. That's what we thought we were voting or campaigning for. To say a new dawning of Isa. Zambia po waikata ponse palinda lama. Our land is so fertile. Pamulu kuti tualima, panshi pali fiuma. And we are so blessed, guys. In closing, I just want to say, guys, we are blessed as a country to have all these resources. We are on net mulesa ngechalo chakobati ngabwacha lebelobal mailoba sanga go juku erama minerals ayandala eka. But look at abana besefo balechula.
Yeah, could you just read the comments from Jean Mwansa? This is the Jean Mwansa who gave us. We need these checks and balances. Jean Mwansa. Let him continue giving these opposing views. He is saying, can I just read it? He says, HH came on political scene in 2008 and elected Republican president of Zambia in 2021, meaning he has been UPND president for 13 years, not 20 years. In 2020, UPND held a convention and HH went unopposed. In 2014, PF held a convention, ECL went through unopposed. Again, 2020, PF held a convention, PF, ECL went unopposed. But if you remember,
unopposed means just they pay people not to oppose. That's what it means. Is this pali baby panel? Is there a toddler? Exactly. Were we born yesterday? We were not born yesterday. Okay.
Jean Mwansa needs to know that there were other leaders who worked with Anderson Mazoka before HH was resurrected from Grant Thornton to come and take over a party, leaving other vice presidents that were there. Sakwiwa Sikota had been there for a long time. Those are the starters of UPND. There was T.N. Kahenya in there. There was Patrick Chisanga. All those old members of UPND. HH just came like the party was waiting for him. And if you remember, that's when Mr. Daniel Munkombwe, may his soul rest in peace, actually uttered those words to say only a Tonga can head the UPND, can be at the helm of the UPND party.
So you know what, after I think we need a political party in the country where we have a mix. Me, I'm done with PF. PF are all about Easterners and Northerners, and then these you don't navena, only a Tonga can head the party. Northwestern. We are not about you guys to destroy our country on tribalism. In PF and UPND, we say to no to those kind of politics.
Yeah.
But PF Valley meaning no kubali ku campu East Valley sender Eastern and Northern block. About UPND na vena na sender is the Zambezi region. What kind of politics are you doing, guys? Wake up. This is 2023. Your party leadership, your government must be diverse. Your government must represent the four corners of Zambia I don't know, Zambia has got 8 or 20 corners. They must be represented in your government.
Yeah, Queen Mpumi, that's why this regionalism type of voting must come to an end. This business of saying wako ni wako should stop.
It should be a crime. It should be enacted in the court, in the parliament. They should make it a crime. That is a tribalism.
And this business of voting, you know, when you look at the voting pattern of the Southern Province also, it must come to an end. Northwestern Province, Western Province, all that must come to Copper Belt, you know, siding with these people. But then again, when you actually research so much, I was following equally the politics of Kenya. Queen Mpumi, you find that this is a practice in Africa.
Because they brainwash you.
Yes.
You know?
Sad as it may be, it is a pattern in Africa.
But you know what, Anik, let me say something. We are going to close in a bit. So what I'm going to say, as much as it is in a pattern in Africa, 2021, the youth showed Zambia something. They were majority of the voters. Because in 2021, these Zambezi tribes in Geba voted HH Beka. HH would not have made it to plot 1. It was a combined effort of the entire Zambia. Even if you PF has their stronghold, but their stronghold was not enough. HH won with a landslide victory because smell the coffee, member politician. The youths are not voting on tribal grounds. They are voting on your promises. And now that you lied and you're failing to deliver your promises, guess what? You are out. And I just want to say that this, my last comment, the next political party should be a blend. It should be a diverse party to incorporate all the tribes. Any party campaigning on tribal or regional grounds should not stand a chance to rule Zambia. I end there, Mama.
And equally, I want to add that Zambians, you now know that the pattern of voting has changed. Zambians now are voting based on revolution.
Yes.
It is revolution.
They want
so
a
you
better
don't
life.
Pull up your socks.
Yeah.
You don't put your socks. You do not work on your campaign promises. The booing that was going to happen in that stadium. It is my first time to see a president being booed. I can assure you, UPND, if you do not pull up your socks, the booing that is going to take place.
I will be there because I was there. I traveled. When Lungu was there, I was there. I was shocked. I was in the stadium when they were booing Lungu. It was just like, wow.
This booing that's going to come, Queen Mpumi, now, it will be 100 times more. Umo akafenta no kufenta.
Representative.
Exactly.
Insoni.
So pull up your socks.
Makesa muli tanka. Na mumone fe balenda mulusaka. No bakalaenda mu military tanka kwati bali munkondo. Kukufisa mo mufi.
Zambia is at another level now. By youth right now, they are crying. The youth are asking themselves, why did they wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go and give this new donor?
Shameless lies. So I think, Mama, your last comments before we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Follow, like, share this page. To the Panomero to Canada and Padi KCM. The mining problems. Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing that this government has done for the youth for them to be glorified. Absolutely nothing. CDF is a scam. It's a sham. They've asked them to form cooperatives. Some of these youth, how to form that cooperative. You know, so instead of educating them of how to form these cooperatives, showing them of how to start a business, no. Now they've left them at the deep end to fend for themselves. So we are urging this government, pull up your socks. If you don't pull up your socks, I'm just telling you, the booing somebody is going to faint in 2026. It will not be the same as 2021. I end here, Queen Mpumi. I thank you all, our listeners, our viewers, on the topics that we continue to share. We hope to see you tomorrow at the same time as we discuss another subject. Please kindly call your friends onto the program. Let this page grow. Tag your friends, tag your groups, and all the best until tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Follow, like, share with your friends and families. We'll be talking because you know what? It's our democratic right. Zambia is a democracy, and we'll continue doing that. And they have to deliver their promises. We'll hold them accountable. Hello, my praise singer. If you're still praising by HH, shame on you. Nganwebo praise singer. Tatushinefyo wachida dero. Awe nobo uleta shomano wabali kumangirande. Bamulipilira ma million petemu. Ule batasha. Politics of nowadays should be informed politics. Even your groups that you're associating with, find time to see what other youths are doing to make their lives better. They don't share wrong things. Politics should not be about a tribe. Umutundu, kuchuwali omutundu. Kuchuwali omutundu. Just on that, the Lusaka City Council, the main city in the country, the floods that are going on there. It's next time if we have Ebola, I won't be surprised if we have a deadly disease. Because what's happening in Lusaka is pathetic. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Otherwise, in the floods, that's another hour. So Lumango, Mama Lumango, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you when you don't shame yanda bakaunda. Mulebe abantu achikalieni ifyumbu minwa bamikata na trachea Sugulite ama 1,000. Mumule amkushite ifyumbu na Sugulite yo. It's an expensive mineral. A small stone like this is it. Thousands of US dollars, a small stone. So it is correct. The price is correct. It's round about there. I've just Googled on the internet. They are saying cheap Sugulite in Zambia. Why is it cheap? Because of the illegal miners. Why are we selling our Sugulite cheaply? Why can't we have cooperative companies, farm mining companies to mine these minerals and sell them at a premium price? All these villages in Mansa can become paradises overnight. Not one person may becoming a millionaire overnight. Why can't we make our area?
Queen Mpumi, thank you very much. We agreed on time management. Can we
Thank you. Tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you tomorrow.